Hello, my name is Katie and welcome back to K&F Design. If you're new here, please head down below and give me a like and subscribe to this channel so we can keep crafting together. Today I have an interesting ornament and we are going to be taking this plastic ornament and hydro dipping it, which means dipping it into water that has spray paint on the top. It's a little cold here, so we'll see how this turns out. So I have my bucket here full of water, and I have my ornament. I just need to squeeze the top here to take off the little cap. And then I have a stick that I'm going to apply some hot glue to stick it to the inside, and that way I have something to hold onto when I dip it into my water here. I am going to start with a kind of burgundy color spray paint. Now these are order spray paints that I found, so I don't recommend doing order. And this gold metallic was really pretty, but it kind of did a weird clumping technique. If you want to do the gold, I think it still works, but just let you know it does have a different effect than normal spray paints. And particularly this green one was very odd too, and it kind of kept spraying weird and continued to spray even after I removed my finger from the nozzle. So using the order spray paint, you can get some chunks, so just be aware of that. But all you do is you keep spray painting the top of the water here until you like what you see. I eventually got cold and said, that looks good. I'll just go in this area where there's a lot of the spray paint, which meant some of my ornaments didn't get quite as much color and a little chunky in areas. So I recommend just completely covering it so you can't see any water before you do your dunk. And see, I was just trying to get it to spread out and kind of test it here. And as you can see, as soon as you put anything in it, it'll start to collect and grab that item. But you can also see it was very chunky when it grabbed it. Again, that's because it's cold out and old spray paint that I'm using. So I was really liking this spot with the gold, so I decided to just go for it, even though there's still spots of water showing. And you just dip it and go up. But as you can see, I missed a few little spots because there was water there and no paint. Also, you don't want to dip it back. I did do it a little bit in this one little section here. It just gets a little chunky when you try to dip it back in. So I'm going to stick it on this little piece of green styrofoam off to the side and let it dry. Just be careful with the drips, and especially with this red one, since it was the first one done. It did have some of my drops of water that was drying on it did start to actually freeze in the cold, so it also made it a little chunky that way. So now I'm just taking a stick, sorry for my head's in the way there, and just cleaning up most of that extra spray paint before I do my next colors, which will be a blue, a gold, and a white. So this time around I tried to add a lot more spray paint, as you can see, so it covered up my water a lot better, and this one goes a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. I kind of swirled it to get all the extra colors, but really just kind of go down and up. I was really liking the colors that were still there, so I decided to do a third ornament, and I did a nice clean down and up, but since I couldn't dip it all the way in, there was a little spots at the top. I ended up later messing it up by trying to cover that up. It would have been a nice clean one if I just left it alone. So one dip, don't redo the dip. So here is one of our ornaments, and since this is just glued on, it's plastic on plastic, so just with a little bit of wiggling, it'll come right off there. And then we can pull off some of that extra. And that's all there is to it. We just need to add a topper, so we'll squeeze that in. And there you go. I'm going to actually take it another step further. And I think I'm going to add a little bow. So then fold your end in half. And cut towards that open end. And you get a nice end to your ribbon. Then you find the spot that you like the best, that you want to be the front, and a dot of hot glue will apply a ribbon. While I wait for my glue to heat up, I just wanted to show you, this was the ornament that I dipped with my hands. I decided to do an extra because I had some extra color in the water, so I didn't have a stick on it, and there was some that it just missed a lot of spots since it needed more spray paint. So I just wanted to show you, if you do re-dip, you can kind of tell, like right here at the bottom where I re-dipped it with this line separation, and it's all bumpy. So this is why you don't re-dip it. So I just thought that was a good one to show you, versus this one here that's all nice and smooth. So it's kind of a one dip. If it's not how you like it, see if you can clean it off and re-dip it that way. But if don't keep trying to dip it multiple times, because then it gets chunky and you get these bumps, unless you like this bumps. So I like this side, so let's use our glue to apply our bow here. So now the ribbon's just kind of hanging off, but actually if you bend it down and you can glue it in place here, it gives it just a little bit of dimension and life, which just makes it look a little bit nice. So I think I'm going to glue it there. Just be careful that's hot. There we go. I like that little extra bend we added to a ribbon. The only problem is the baker's twine that came with our ornament here doesn't quite fit the theme. So I'm just going to cut it off. Oops, just one string. And then I'm going to add the same ribbon to hang it. So I'm just doing a double knot here at the top. Looks good, and then I'll cut it loose. Can cut off the frayed end here. Then you just feed it through your loop, your circle there at the top, and then feed the other end through the hole and pull. But don't pull too much, otherwise you'll take your lid off again, which you just have to put it back on. But that makes it look so much nicer that they both match. So there's all of our ornaments. So here is our little hydro dipped ornament. I think they're a lot of fun to make, and you can make all different types. It'd be fun to do together with some friends or family, and then have a whole tree full of these cool textured patterned ornaments. You can even make them match a theme if you would like. I hope you had fun experimenting with this technique with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.